You know that feeling when we spend 3 hours negotiating the price of the car you want. You're proud. But then you walk you down a hallway to a small office with a closed door. A person you've never met slides a 4-page menu across the desk. Rust-proofing, locking wheel lugs, premium blinker fluid, and so on. That back office is called the F&I office. Finance and insurance. And it's where the dealership makes most of its money, not on the car itself. Today I'm breaking down the 5 add-ons you should never buy and the 5 I'd actually consider. Let's start with the worst offender. Number 1. Nitrogen-filled tires. Alright, so this one, I want you to remember this forever, because it's so silly that once you know it, you genuinely cannot unknow it. They fill your tires with nitrogen instead of regular air, slap a little green cap on the valve stem so you know what happened, and then they charge you anywhere from $100 to $400 for it. $400 for air. Premium air. Their pitch is that nitrogen holds tire pressure more consistently than regular air, improves fuel economy, blah 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 blah. And technically, nitrogen is more stable under pressure and temperature changes. You know who that actually applies for? Airplanes, NASCAR, Formula 1, people whose tires are genuinely going through insane conditions. Your Honda Civic doing the school run? It does not matter at all. Here's the thing. Regular air is already 78% nitrogen. The upgrade they're selling you takes it from 78% to maybe 95%. You're paying for hundreds of dollars for a 17% nitrogen upgrade on car tires that are going to sit in a Costco parking lot. And even if your tires lose pressure, which they will, every tire does, it doesn't matter what's inside, you can just top them off at any gas station for free, with regular air, which is almost entirely nitrogen anyways. Some dealers pre-fill the tires before you even arrive, show you the green caps as proof, and then hand you the bill. If that happens, you don't owe them for it. Under the FTC car rule published in January 2024 and effective mid-2024, they cannot legally charge you for stuff you did not ask for. The FTC and CFPB have both flagged these kinds of pre-installed charges as deceptive practices. Tell them to take it off the contract. Nitrogen tires, not even a conversation. Next, number 2, VIN etching. So the pitch here sounds pretty reasonable on the surface. They etch your vehicle identification number into your windows. The logic is that if someone steals your car, etched VINs make it harder to chop and sell for parts, so thieves are supposed to be less likely to bother. Some dealers even throw in that you'll get an insurance discount for it. And look, the concept isn't really totally crazy. The execution is the problem, because the dealer charges you for $200 to $400 for something you can pay a few dollars to do. And you can buy a $15 DIY etching kit at any auto parts store and do the exact same thing yourself in about an hour. That's it. That's the whole service. Also, your car already has a VIN stamped all over it from the factory, under the hood, in the door jambs, and on the dashboard. It's literally required by law to be in multiple places. The window etching is extra. It's not nothing, but it is absolutely not worth $350 through the dealer. And the insurance discount? Most insurers don't offer a meaningful one for this anymore. If yours does, call them before you sign anything and get an actual number. Don't just take the finance manager's word for it. That's not how any of this works. Worst version of this, some dealers etch the VIN before you even show up, then tell you it's already done so you're stuck. But you're not. You didn't ask for it, you didn't authorize it. Same FTC rule. Just say you want it removed from the contract. They can't unetch the windows, but they can absolutely take the charge off. Number 3. Paint protection and fabric sealant. This one shows up in a bunch of different outfits. Sometimes it's paint sealant, sometimes it's called paint protection film or PPF. Sometimes it's interior fabric protection or leather conditioning treatment. The names rotate, the math doesn't. And it's worth knowing PPF and paint sealant are actually 2 different things. PPF is a physical clear film applied to the surface. Paint sealant is a chemical coating. The dealer often uses these terms interchangeably, which is part of how they muddy the water. Neither version at the dealer markup is worth what they charge. Dealer buys a $50 product, sells it to you for $500 to $1,000. Consumer Reports looked into this and puts paint protection at around $600 and rust proofing at around $800. Their conclusion? Modern cars don't need it. The paint, frame, and interior fabrics in today's vehicles are built to last well over a decade with regular washing. There's no magic spray that changes that. The fabric protection is basically Scotchgard, actual Scotchgard, the stuff at Target for $8. Spray it yourself, takes 20 minutes, smells a little funky for a day, but you're done. You just saved $492. And even the paint sealant, even if you decide you want it, it wears off in 6 to 12 months. So you paid $600 for something with a shorter lifespan than a gym membership in January. If you genuinely want proper paint protection, do it after you buy the car. Find a reputable local detailer and ask about ceramic coating. It's a different category entirely from the spray sealant the dealer is pushing. It bonds to the paint at a molecular level, lasts years instead of months, costs less than a dealer's markup, and it'll actually do something. The dealer's version is the Wish.com version of that. Number 4. The addendum sticker accessories. This one sometimes gets you before you even make it to the F&I office, right when you first see the car. There is a second sticker on the window, sitting next to the official Monroney sticker. That's the manufacturer-required pricing label, the one mandated by the federal law. The second one is called the addendum sticker, and it lists stuff that's already been installed on your vehicle. Floor mats, door edge guards, those pin strips down the side that nobody asked for, wheel locks, maybe a cargo liner. Total somewhere between $400 and $800, and it's already on the car. Already done. The dealer paid $40 for all of it. They're charging you 8 times that. The reason they do it before you arrive is because it creates a, well, it's already there situation. Like, the stuff is just part of the car now. Hard to say no to something when it's already been bolted on. Psychologically, it works on a lot of people. But you're not stuck with it. You can ask them to remove the items, or more realistically, use the whole thing as negotiation leverage on your out-the-door price. I don't want these accessories, take them off, or drop the price by that amount. This is a completely normal ask. But the thing is, you need to catch it early. Check the window when you first see the car, before you get emotionally attached and before you're sitting in that small room with that closed door. Number 5. Credit life and disability insurance. This is the quietest one on the list and probably the sneakiest one. It doesn't sound like a scam, it actually sounds kind of thoughtful, which is exactly why it works. The pitch is, if you pass away or become seriously disabled, this life insurance pays off your car loan so your family doesn't have to. And honestly, that's a real thing to care about. The pitch isn't irrational. The problem is what you're actually buying. This insurance does one thing, pays off your car loan. That's it. If you already have life insurance or disability coverage through your employer, which a lot of people do, you're paying for a product that overlaps with coverage you've already got, except this version is more expensive and way more limited. Your regular life insurance policy, if you have one, would handle this as part of covering everything else. The mortgage, the credit cards, your family's actual financial situation. This just does the car loan. It's like paying for a rain jacket when you already own a full waterproof suit. If this is genuinely a blind spot in your coverage, no life insurance, no disability plan, that's a real conversation worth having. Just not in that office, on that day, and from that 4-page menu. Talk to an insurance broker separately, where you're not exhausted and nobody's commission depends on your answer. Now let's flip it. Here are the 5 I'd actually consider. Number 1, gap insurance. Just not from them. Alright, now it's time to pivot, because not everything in that office is a con, and I want to be honest with you about that. Gap insurance is genuinely a good idea in certain situations. GAP stands for Guaranteed Asset Protection, and here's the deal. New cars lose 20 to 30% of their value in the first year. That's consistent with the Kelley Blue Book and the NADA guides both track. So if you get into the serious accident 6 months after buying your car and it gets totaled, your insurance company is going to pay you what the car is worth right now, not what you still owe on the loan. And those two numbers can be very different very quickly, especially if you didn't pay much down. That gap insurance is what you owe and what the car is worth. It's called negative equity, being underwater on your loan. And that's exactly what the coverage is designed to protect against. So gap covers the difference. That way you're not sitting there, carless, and still writing checks on a loan for something that has been towed to a scrapyard. That's real protection that actually matters, especially if you put down less than 20%. You're on a long loan, 60 months, 72 months, or you bought something that just drops in value fast. And the catch here is the price. The dealer wants $400 to $900 for it, and it rolls into your loan, which means you're also paying interest on the coverage. Your own insurance company offers the same thing for around $40 to $60 a year. Your credit union likely has a similar deal, and unlike the dealer version, it's not stuck inside your loan. So I say get a gap if it fits your situation. Just buy it from your insurer or a credit union, not from the person on the other side of that desk. Number 2, extended warranty. Right car, right place, just not right now. Extended warranties are where the internet goes the hardest. Never buy one, they're all traps. And for most situations, honestly, that's not wrong. The markup is genuinely wild. Dealers buy a warranty for $1,000 and sell it to you for $4,000. That happens all the time. But here's the one scenario where I'd actually think about it. You're buying a used luxury European car, a BMW, an Audi, a Mercedes, something beautiful and so deeply engineered that once the factory warranty runs out, costs a genuinely alarming amount of money to fix. We're talking a single electronic fault or a transmission issue running $3 to $8 grand. German engineering is incredibly right up until the moment it isn't. And when it isn't, you feel it immediately and expensively. So I hope you see in that specific situation, having some kind of coverage isn't really that crazy. The key though, don't buy it in that room on the signing day. You don't have to. You can actually buy an extended warranty weeks or months after you buy the car. Third-party providers like Endurance or CarChecks offers comparable coverage at lower prices. And you have actual time to read what's covered. Read the exclusions especially, because that's where the warranty companies quietly make their money back. Know what they won't cover before you decide what you're paying for. If you're buying a Toyota or a Honda, you're probably not going to need any of this. Those things don't break the same way. Number 3, tire and wheel protection, but only on performance cars. It's super conditional on this one, so stick with me. On a regular car, a sedan, a crossover, or your standard all-season tires, I would skip it. Your auto insurance is very likely to cover road hazard damage already, and the dealer markup on this stuff is not worth it. But if you're buying something with low-profile performance tires, a proper sports car, a performance trim with big 20-inch wheels, and basically no sidewall, a road hazard plan is worth actually looking at. Those tires are expensive in a way that's kind of shocking until you need to replace one. $500 to $800 for a single tire in some of these setups are not unusual. Before you say yes or no, just call your insurance company and ask if your policy covers road hazard. If it does, you're fine and skip it. If it doesn't, run the math on what one tire replacement would cost versus what the dealer plan costs. On something like a Corvette or an M4, that actually makes sense. Know what's on your car before you decide. Number 4, window tint. But it depends where you live. Window tint is legitimately useful if you live somewhere that punishes you for existing outdoors between May and October. In Florida, Texas, Arizona, Nevada, if you ever sat in a parked car lot in July on Phoenix, you understand why tint isn't optional. It's a survival strategy. It keeps the interior cooler, protects your seats and dashboard from fading, cuts down on glare, and just makes your every drive more bearable. If you're somewhere where it snows 8 months a year though, it's maybe less critical. But the thing is, independent tint shops almost always do better work for less money than a dealer. So before you agree to the dealer's price, Google a local shop and get a quote. Sometimes the dealer is competitive and genuinely convenient to have it done before delivery, but sometimes they're just charging you double for the same film. Just know which one you buy before you say yes. Number 5, prepaid maintenance, but only Japanese cars if the math lines up. This is the last one, and is genuinely the most nuanced thing on here, so bear with me for 30 seconds. Prepaid maintenance is where you pay up front for a bundle of future oil changes and scheduled service visits, and yeah, it sounds exactly like something dealers invented to get more money out of you, and sometimes it is. But on a Toyota, Honda, or a Mazda, which are brands where maintenance schedule is predictable and the dealer service prices are consistent, some people actually come out slightly ahead on these plans, especially as service prices have been going up. The other thing it does is give you a fixed cost for the next few years on maintenance, which some people genuinely value. The homework is simple. Ask them to list exactly what the plan covers. Price out those services individually at a current dealer rate and compare the numbers. If the plan is at or under that total, it's worth considering. If the coverage is vague or the price is significantly higher than doing it yourself, just pay as you go. Look, the person in the back office isn't just some cartoon villain. They're doing a job, but that job is specifically designed to sell you as much as possible in the window of time when you are most likely to say yes. You're tired, you're excited, and you've already committed to the car. And they're showing you everything in monthly payments, so the individual amount feels small. Now, the average buyer walks out of that room having spent over $2,000 on stuff they did not plan for and mostly didn't even need. That money is real. That's a trip somewhere. That's your emergency fund. It's real money that went to the dealer's bottom line instead of yours. So go in with a list. Know your 5 no's, know your 5 maybes, and know exactly which column everything belongs in before they slide that menu across the desk. If this video helps you, get on that like button. It genuinely helps this video reach people who need it before they make the same mistakes. But let me know which one of these you got sold on. No judgment. It happens to everyone.